Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Gabriella, and I'm here with a wonderful writer and author from our publication, Dancing Elephant Press. And I would like to interview him and find out more about him. Can you tell us your name and tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. My name is Dr. Rawson, and I go by Dr. It's not doctor, although I've obviously been called doctor most of my life. But it's just simple. Anyway, and for me, the reason that I'm here is because I like to write, because I enjoy it. And over the years, I've been a serial entrepreneur in 27 different companies, all in different industries. So in the process of writing business plans and proposals, all the things that I've had to write over the years, some people that I trust and appreciate have said, gee, writing is much better. So why not go for it? So I decided to go for it. And Gary Friedman, a good friend of mine who has written 35 books, he suggested that I go for it. Gary worked for me at 3 of my companies, so I trust his opinion. So that's why I decided to go ahead and write.
Why did you decide to become a writer?
Well, first of all, writing, as I just previously said, is a passion. I enjoy it. But more importantly, I have 6 children, 18 grandchildren, and have 4 plus great grandchildren. I got 1 on the way. And I was not the best example of a father early on in my life. And so most of the time, my kids didn't know what company I owned or where I was, and I did a lot of traveling. So this is a way for me to create a legacy in writing that not only to my children, but descendants as it goes on and on. Because we all know, once it gets on the internet, it's on the internet. Nobody's going to get a chance to erase it. You can find it somewhere, I'll guarantee you that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I wanted to create a written legacy so that kids would know, what did Grandpa feel about that? What did Dad really think about that? Or what really happened to him back here and there? So I've covered those instances in books and articles and so on and so forth. And I always take the opinion that if I share it with one child, there's probably other people out there that need the same thing. So why not just write it as a medium writer and put it out there, and people read it? Great. That's great too. I'm not one of these people that just hope the whole world views it. They don't have to. It's okay with me.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Leaving a legacy for your family and then others to read, which I love and enjoy reading your stories and hearing about them as well.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What is the most important reason why you write?
Well, I think legacy. I think that's probably the biggest single reason. That's when I decide on a topic, that's what I'm thinking about. So is this something that those that come after me would be interested in knowing, and those who are friends now that are reading regularly what I write, is this something that would work for them? I'm always trying to think about the readership and what they would need and enjoy. And that started because my grandfather did that for me. I lost my parents at a very early age, and my grandfather stepped in, and when I had a problem, I'd call him and say, Grandpa, this is a problem I'm having. And he was a very wise man, so he comes forward and he says, here's the principle upon which you want to respond, but never tell me what to respond.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of figuring out on my part and a lot of trial and error that I could do in my head and still use that principle. And so that's what I did. So it worked out well between the two of us. And so I'm just hoping it'll work as I put it down in writing and reading.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Where do your passions lay? Yes.
Well, I'm passionate about writing, but I'm more importantly passionate about making sure that the knowledge that I have, that I've been fortunate enough to gain over 76 years, gets passed on to someone. Hopefully my children will pick it up, but if writers or readers medium pick it up or whoever, I'm totally okay with that. But I just think that having traveled as much as I have, and done as much as I have, I do have some wisdom. I do have a different perspective than other people have. I know that. And I'd like to share that so that others can hopefully benefit from it.
Absolutely. I mean, your travel stories and yes, your wisdom is priceless. And I truly enjoy every minute of it. And I'm sure that our writers and readers do the same. And I'm greatly appreciative that you recently took up the role as one of our editors in Dancing Elephant Press. And I would love to hear just a little bit about what inspired you to do that.
Well, what inspired us? First of all, you guys as editors, I think, are really great. I think as persons, as people, you're just excellent, and I'm happy to write for Dancing Elephant Press. I'm happy to be a part of this. I'm glad that you thought that you could use me. That's great. So I like the topics that we have, and everything that seems to be written on Dancing Elephant Press is more on the personal side than not. And I like that. I think it really says a lot about the individuals, and we're willing to share. It really screwed up when I did this. I was 30 years old. I wasn't thinking, oh my gosh. And they're willing to take that hit, which is great because that's how others learn. And so I just felt like it would be important to be a part of this. And it's a small publication now, but we're at the very beginning of time associated with the press. How many months have we been doing this now? Have you been doing this?
So Dancing Elephant Press is born in October, so it's just about a year and, you know,
It was born in
4 months,
October.
a
What
year,
year?
1 year and 4 months old. 1 year and four
A year
months.
and 4
That's,
months. Okay, well, that's
yeah,
pretty
right now.
new, actually.
Yes, yes, it
Compared to
is.
some of these gigantic publications, I looked at a couple and they've got like 21,000 writers and
Yes.
gee, okay, yeah, I want to get lost in that group. That's helpful. So
Absolutely.
I just think we're at a point where we can do some really interesting things with this, and that's what I'm excited about. And you have essentially assigned that to me, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. Um, I think there's a lot we can do here, and most of all, I think that because of the size of the publication, we can focus more on the individual writers and let other people throughout medium and know who these people are, because there's some great writers in our group, just great. And
Yes.
many of them have a huge following. So we want to take advantage of that, but more importantly, we want to even get them out even further as they interact with other people in the medium.
Absolutely. I love that we are a smaller publication right now and we can focus on the writers. I agree
Yeah,
with you 100% and get to know them really well and support them.
yeah, yeah.
Um, thank you so much for your insights. The platform Medium, what changes that you would like to see on the platform itself?
Is that the problem that they're having is just a programming problem, a coding
Hmm.
problem. That's it. And this issue of, well, you have 900 followers versus what they keep telling you. I have been recording a list of what it shows every day, what I have in terms of followers. And I started back when I had 300. Now I have 930 some odd followers. And then in another column, every time that comes up on a notification that you got X number of people following you, I check it to make sure I actually am following them. And then I record that number 6, 12, 18, 2, 1, whatever it is in that column and the date. According to what I'm recording from what they're giving me, I should have almost 2,000 followers.
Wow.
What do I actually have? 930 some. I think it's 937 today. So how misleading is that?
Are people dropping off, you think?
No, what's
No.
happening is that they're reporting people 2 or 3 times. I've checked the list
Oh,
they send me. They say, well, you got 6 people following you. The very next list that comes out may be only 4 people, but 2 of those people were on the previous list.
oh, I see. Hmm.
So they're just not picking this data up correctly. So that's what I would like to see Medium do is fix that
More precise data.
more precisely. Yeah, and I think that they can do that. This new guy, what's his name? Corey? Is that his first name? The guy that heads Medium now.
I'm not sure because there were so many changes that honestly, I don't know.
Well, I saw a video of him recently, and according to him, he's known the original founder of Medium for years, and he's been an engineer to Twitter and helped a number of companies and had companies that he sold. So this guy should be bright enough that he can do this, and he's got a little different vision, I think, than what I thought the vision was when I first began. And I don't care about that as long as he has a methodology to treat writers correctly. I'm good. I'm absolutely good, and that's his intention. So
Yeah.
this little piece that they're not doing correctly, it's easily fixed, and I hope they will do that. But we'll see. We'll see.
And hopefully that will work with the rest of the algorithm issues with the reads, and some of the other things might not be counted well, I think, as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of those things, those are all absolutely knowable and doable. So we know where the
Wonderful.
numbers come from, and I know enough about programming to be really dangerous. But I can tell you that if we know that number, then
Hmm.
it's a question of writing the algorithm so it records it correctly. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if they get it fixed. But that's what I would wish for Medium. For us as a publication, I would wish, as I said, that we do more with the writers, that we focus more on the writers. And I think there's a number of ways to do that. I also think that when we publish articles, we should have something in the bottom that says that it meets our criteria by this, that, or the other thing. So if they're submitting it under positivity, then let's do that. Let's make sure it says that there or up in the top, the tickler that's up to the very top, they can do that so that we can sort it out that way ourselves. And then we can present that in a recap. We can go, here's the articles that were focused on positivity, because if that's why a reader's coming to us, because they like that, they want some of that each day in their life, which I think is great, then they need to be able to find it easily. And so I'd like to see that. And the other things that we do as well, the same way. Now, when we put out a newsletter, then we should be able to organize it by those same 4 or 5 things that we're honing in on as a publication. And I think that will be helpful as well. And I think even if we put a brief comment by the editor or editors that have reviewed it, I think that would be helpful, because I think it helps the readers. So those are things that I see that I think would be helpful.
Thank you so much for sharing those ideas. I will definitely check into those. Are there any other topics that you would like to discuss? So if you would like to go back to some of the things that you felt like you wanted to share, we can do that now.
Well, yeah, I think that all that we're doing for members is trying to figure out a way to get them more into the Medium group, which is huge now. I saw a statistic one time indicating the number of writers that are on Medium, and I went, whoa. If you didn't have a small publication like what we've got, the chances of you being seen were kind of slim, really slim. So promoting our publication, your publication, in such a way so that we focus on the publication and the writer and be able to link those two together, I think is important. We can do things like, and we probably won't do this, but I'll just share it with you anyway. If you had a particular badge, they give out badge for top writer for this and that. If we had a particular badge that was designed that maybe an elephant dancing on a ball, and the ball actually had what the award is, top writer for us.
Oh, I love that. That would be wonderful. Yes.
It'd be cute. So
Yeah.
people get that, and we could pass those out monthly or quarterly, or I think people like things sooner as opposed to later, but it's easy when we're doing it on a monthly basis and we say, look, this person generated more stories or articles for our publication this month than anybody else. Top writer, that's one award. The next award, and the editors would sit down and figure this out. The next award might be the best positive type of article. Next, the best joy. You get the most amount of joy from reading this particular article. Now, when we're curating those things in that way, then the reader says, well, they're already telling me which one's the best one. So I can go to that one and I can shortcut this thing. Boom, I get in, read this, read that, and move on. When you've got, literally, let's just say, and I know it's more than this, 10,000 articles or stories that are submitted each day, somebody needs a shortcut. Otherwise, I'm reading titles all day long, and if I go, oh, that title's interesting. Good grief, who wants to read titles all day long? That's just crazy. So anyway, something like that I think would be helpful. And then the other thing I thought of is that we're not an island. Just us as editors, we're not an island. We're trying to make the publication all inclusive. As I've looked at the bios of some of the people that I've decided to follow, and I kind of read those things carefully, because there's been a few of them I said, absolutely not. I did not want to follow these people. I don't want any of that trash in my box, period. So as I look at these people, some of them are hugely brainiacs. I mean, they're really smart people that have done a lot of different things that could be helpful. So if we issued a call to the writers to ask them, could they fix this for us? Could they show us how to do this or that because we're trying to accomplish it? You might be surprised. We might get an answer back that they say, well, yeah, here's a simple way to do it. Here's a long way to do it. Which would you prefer? Okay, I'll take simple, please. Anyway, I think that's a way that we can utilize some of these people. And I think if it's done correctly, then I think we get the best use of the members. And in fact, we could put a section in a newsletter that says members help section. Here's things that we need done, and here's things that you, the members, have done to help us with the publication. That gets the writers to stop and look outside themselves.
Anyway, absolutely. That's a great idea.
That's my view. I don't know if you got too much or too little. But anyway, that's
it's just about perfect. That's how Dia does it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me and answering these questions. And see you around the medium.
Thank you so much.